and welcome to this week's edition of Two Coaches, One's Grizz. Guess who's back?
I'm back. He's here.
So we got some college basketball going down today. We're going to talk about a little bit more NFL situation. Does anybody want to win the East in the NBA? However, we do need to start with our coach, who's been gone, who's been absent for a week. We want his retort to last week's conversations here.
Well, first of all, it's good to be back. Thank God for being here. I thank him for a great week of vacation, great time away, great place. I tell everybody I was twirling my fingers for 5 or 6 days, and they kept bringing me drinks and food.
There you go. You need to recharge sometimes.
I got to work, and I twirled my fingers, and nobody brought anything. No. I was like, bro, what's going on here? What happened?
Yeah.
Lost the magic.
You're getting your fingers twirled.
I lost the magic. But let me touch on a couple of things. Number one, I think that the Browns have really screwed everything up with this fully guaranteed contract of Deshaun Watson. Number one, I think it completely changes the landscape of quarterbacks. It's going to affect, whether we believe it or not, as mighty rich as the cap is, it's going to affect it. It's going to affect how you sign other guys. It's going to affect teams. Second of all, if you listen to some of his deposition and some of the things that he said in his deposition when they asked him, hey, do you find her attractive? Well, that's not what I was. Well, no, but do you find her attractive? I've got a girlfriend. What? Again, it's just like, it's asinine. The stuff that he's saying, the way he's trying to like get in, get out, like it makes no sense. So here you are. Here's the guy that you just signed to a mega deal of deals, and all of a sudden, this stuff is all cropping up, and we've spoken about it here. We've discussed it. The court of public opinion is going to put the NFL in a situation where he is going to be suspended. There's got to be some type of punishment for the things that were going on.
So I do need to say that phenomenal point on the issue with the fully guaranteed contract. I didn't connect those dots in terms of the issue and the fully guaranteed contract. I know it's good business on Deshaun's people's
part.
No,
great. No, fantastic.
But I didn't even because now there is no game check or game, prorated salary being withheld for the incoming suspension, because there will be a suspension. I think we've said that.
Fully guaranteed. Fully.
Yeah, no. That's a great point.
I just need to interject. I think it's the most phenomenal thing I've ever seen, a guy who has 22 accusations, whether they are true or not, and still can get a fully guaranteed. I
That amount.
I think that's America at its finest. It's incredible, the asinine, what owners and desperation does. You still had a quarterback that was hurt all year, giving you his all, who the year before took you pretty much to the semis against the Chiefs. I'm not saying that Deshaun's not better.
Correct.
But the fact of the matter is that now you're going to bank everything on this guy who still technically has things over his head.
There's civil suits.
Guaranteed suspension. If he doesn't get suspended,
then I need his lawyers. I need everything that guy
has done.
I gotta figure out who those guys are.
Nobody's ever gonna be taken seriously. Like, you could do whatever you want. The Wild Wild West.
We're back.
You can do whatever you want.
Sundown. Showdown.
Obviously, as long as you don't get convicted, your money.
It's crazy.
That being said,
desperation.
You guys are all right. 1,000,000% right. That being said, if the Browns win the Super Bowl, it is 120% worth it. Because I'm going to tell you right now, there is a contingent of Ohioans, I know many very well, that they don't give a
Yes. They don't give
You know what they get? 65 years
I
without
get it.
NFL
I get it.
championship.
I want to let
But
you know
no.
that's not something unique to Ohio. That's every team.
Correct.
Even Patriot fans that have won so many Super Bowls, if they could still get more Super Bowls, they'll do whatever it takes to win. There's sick people out here, man.
But now with all that being said, and as much as you say, if the AFC landscape had not changed as much as it had in the last 4 weeks, 28 days.
Maybe if the Browns played, I don't know.
Also a fact.
I don't know. Maybe if the Browns were the Saints and they got the shot, I'd be like, okay, that's a team that has a nice route to a championship. They're in the gauntlet that is the AFC. I mean, that's why they did it. They're desperate. They're just willing to stay with the Joneses. They can't. If they regress back to a team that's like 3-13 or whatever that is, I mean,
as much as you don't want to say it, Deshaun did give the raw sausage to Texas because he signed a nice package and then said, "No, I don't want to play. No, I'm not playing."
Yeah, but okay. Yeah, in his defense on that part, he signed the contract. He did all that stuff. And then they traded away all of his pieces.
Okay, but that has nothing to do with you. That has nothing to do with the saucy, delicious contract that you signed.
He got paid.
Okay? That has nothing to do with the contract that guy signed.
His job is to perform for his team that he just signed a contract with.
And he did. He probably had one of the best NFL seasons a quarterback had and went 4-12 because they had a historically bad defense.
That's fine. Okay, I get it. I understand. But it doesn't give him the right.
Great quarterback that's played with bad teams.
And it doesn't give you the right to say, well, no, I'm going to sit out this next year. I'm not playing. Trade me. I'm not playing. No.
He didn't sit out. They sat him out.
No. First of all, he said he wasn't playing.
And then
he said, trade me. Yeah. I'm not playing. And then after that, which is where our conspiracy theorist friends, including, I'm going to call that the Frank Morales theory of conspiracy. The Frank Morales conspiracy that the 22 women magically appeared and said, hey, we're the masseuses and we're getting massages.
All I'm saying, it was real convenient timing.
Get it? I get it. I
totally
understand.
Convenient timing.
Once again, if we're going to do a setup job, 22.
That's a heck of a setup.
That's a lot of a setup.
That's a heck of a setup.
Who's the lawyer's name? Rusty Hardin or whatever? Yes. I mean, even the lawyer's name sounds like a setup. Rusty Hardin.
I'm just going to leave it
at that.
I just go back to his deposition. That's all. That's it. I just put that. Your Honor.
Yeah. Let the man speak for himself, and he did, and it didn't sound good.
Okay. Now, moving right along. Yeah.
Continue on. We could spend all night on this.
Yes, we really could. Moving right along. The unretirement of Tom Brady. Now things have percolated. Things have marinated in Tampa, where Bruce Arians is stepping down.
Ascending, sir. Ascending.
I'm sorry. He's stepping down as the head coach, but he's being promoted to an upper level
office management type of guy,
consultant,
and he's getting one of his best friends in the league.
Let me say something to the word consultant. Mm-hmm. This past weekend, we went to the Miami Hurricanes football coaches clinic.
Yes,
and I have not met so many consultants. Okay, as I did this past weekend.
Let me tell you something. We had some consultants out there that had shorts and t-shirts on, and we're talking about stunts and blitzes.
So all of a sudden,
you think I can be a consultant?
Listen, now all of a sudden, when they use the word consultant, I scratch my head. I'm like, consultant. But yes, he was promoted.
When I worked in banking, everybody who had a card that said assistant vice president, they weren't really assistant. That's just nice on the card. Everybody's an assistant vice president at some point, just like a consultant.
Assistant vice president.
Always. I don't know how. Why are you here at this position if you're an assistant vice president? I would think your office would be much nicer. But having said that, consulting, huh?
So now Arians is a consultant.
He's a consultant. That's nice. I would love to get paid as a consultant.
Listen, brother, I would love any one of those NFL jobs. Yeah. I mean, doing the coffee, but just preparing the pot is money.
Okay, but going back to Bowles, that's a very good friend of his, and I think that's pretty cool that he has another chance to win a Super Bowl with Tom Brady. He wins a second Super Bowl, could be a Hall of Fame coach.
No, but
I think that's pretty honorable.
So since we coming freshly off of the Francisco Morales conspiracy,
yes,
there's another conspiracy brewing here.
Yes,
that says that Mr. Brady doesn't get along with Mr. Arians.
Correct.
And that one of the piecemeals, and one of the ideas of him unretiring was that Bruce would leave and Todd would take over.
So he's okay with Todd.
That's what's said. So
Well, Todd's a defensive guy.
Correct.
So I think what we have here is maybe Tom being the actual offensive coordinator, offensive head coach.
De facto.
Yeah.
Even though they're gonna keep,
I don't think I think the
keep their
conspiracy
OC.
of them not getting along together, I think is full of, you know what? Because, I mean, and having said that, yeah, maybe they have disagreements and all that. But if he really, even if he gets out of the way as being the coach, I don't think you come back to Tampa.
Reports are
and
that
I don't
Bowles
know.
and Brady have a great relationship.
Yeah. But I'm
So-
saying, like, how can you not even like the guy that you won a Super Bowl your first year with, and you came, one cup touchdown from getting back to the NFC Championship? I don't know. Maybe it's some truth to that, but I just, stories, man. Everything's a
Okay,
I can't.
We can't
Maybe
keep
I'm
up.
just a gullible
We
son of a
can't keep
bitch,
up. We can't
you
keep
know?
up.
So the reports are that Arians was thinking about retiring prior to Brady's retirement, and then Brady retired. Arians always wanted to leave the franchise, the team, with one of his friends or one of the guys that he helped bring up, and leave it in not just leave it to them, but leave it in a good state.
Someone
for
that he had
them.
mentored.
And Bowles
Right.
having been here as our coach, and he had a unfortunate stint as a New York Jet coach. But hey, everybody who's a New York Jet coach has a bad stint. But I'm just saying, I think
sure
he
seems that
deserves
way.
the opportunity. And this checks all the boxes. Minority coach. Once again, it's a friend, so we get that in there. And if Todd Bowles can't succeed with this team, what I'm saying, he's been given.
Well, but not
a
yet
nice
though.
plate.
They still have to sign a few guys.
I know, but
They a few
Once again, he
receivers
was the
have
head
to
coach
be
of
come
the New York
back.
Jets.
So
And
listen,
other teams that
anything is
a lot of coaches.
Anything's an upgrade from
A
the
lot
Jets.
of coaches come into. Why do you usually replace a coach? Because the team was bad. So this is the rare occurrence where a team's not that bad. Yes, they got to sign people, but you have Tom Brady.
Correct.
And once you have Tom Brady and you are in the NFC, he's already automatically a division winner and probably top 3 in the conference. I mean, just wake up and that's what he's going to be. So.
Yeah. So it's going to be interesting to see how do they miss a step. Is it all systems go? Like, are they going to be firing on all cylinders? Because, I mean, let's see what's going to happen here. I mean, because it's the one issue that the whispers have been going about the whole Arians thing was, Brady wanted to get away from the structure and the strictness of the Patriots, but they're also saying he might want a little bit of that back because Arians was maybe too loose in the locker room. So that was the disagreement, right? So that's another theory to your situation there.
Right. I do know that early on it was a rocky relationship. They did butt heads somewhat a little bit, and Arians went ahead and secede some of his influence or play calling and things like that because Tom wanted to do a couple different things, and things worked out for them. And that's when they eventually were able to get everything going together and win the Super Bowl. Last year, I thought everything was going well, just like you said, Grizz. But there was still supposedly friction.
I think Antonio Brown probably was a little part of that.
And sadly, and that's something I did hear today.
Tom had his back,
Right.
And I think Arians probably wanted him.
Well, but again, if you take a look at AB, it's just he's a head case.
Exactly. So remove
And
the
it's
head
so
case.
difficult. So, but now, yeah, but you remove the head case, and Bruce is still ascending.
Right.
So we'll see how this works, how this all works out with the new head coach. I thought Arians had done a good job. I think Arians has done a good job at the 3 places he's been as a head coach.
I think so too.
I really believe that.
He should have probably done better in Arizona. Unfortunately.
Agreed.
I would say I would agree with that. Gentlemen, we will be right back with our next segment on some March Madness. We are down to the Final Four, gentlemen. And as we talked about off air, and our esteemed coach here has in our show notes, Blue Blood Central. It's all up to, it's almost chalk, essentially. Coachy, what do you got for me here?
No, I mean, again, the cream of the crop in NCAA basketball is playing this Final Four.
If you're talking history, we got it.
You're talking Villanova, Kansas, and for the first time ever in their storied rivalry, North Carolina plays Duke in Coach K's farewell tour. What a better way to send Coach K off than with a Tar Heel butt whooping, and our coach from North Carolina won't shake his hand after the game.
Are you going to deny us conspiracy theory here?
What do you mean? What conspiracy theory now? There's another one? We got Purdue?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
We're going to have to start a new podcast, just conspiracies, because this is everything
I'm not
has a
talking about me.
conspiracy.
I'm not talking about me.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm just saying everything we have to talk about has a conspiracy to it. What's going on now, Frankie?
I'll be honest with you.
Just saying that people are saying that this is the way
What
they
do they
wanted
say?
it.
No.
That they wanted UNC Duke in the Final Four.
Oh, I'm gonna-
for this exact reason.
I mean, of course.
I mean, have you
couldn't
seen
write a
the
better
way,
script.
Have you seen the way North Carolina has played?
Right. And with saying that, I'm not going to lie to you. Again, and we've discussed it, the Tar Heels
the
have
refs, the refs, man.
No, the Tar Heels have been one of my all-time favorite teams. I love the Tar Heels. But this year, they just could not get any traction. And going into the tournament, there were a few talking heads that said, man, this is a team that could really reel off some big wins. This is a team that if they put it all together, they can be dangerous. And guess what? They've put it all together, and they're dangerous. They don't fear Duke. They don't fear Coach K.
Yeah.
It's not like
They blew them out last game at Duke.
Cameron, at Cameron, okay, with the Cameron crazies. Right. So again, it's not like, oh my God, no. It's like, come. We're gonna have ourselves a great game.
Now, you heard in Coach K's interview, somebody had asked him, well, is this game bigger than the national championship? And he was like, no, the goal is to win a national championship, blah, blah, blah. This game cannot be bigger than the national championship. And I hear him, right? As a coach, he needs to say that, right? Because there is a great chance that his team may, I'm not going to use the term because I got in trouble for it last time, but they may, lose themselves.
Succumb.
They may suck out on this game, okay? And then they got nothing left for the national championship if they make it.
But again, Coach, listen, you're a coach. You've played the game.
No, he's got to say that.
It's not about saying it though. The ultimate prize is the championship. It's the ring.
Again, yes, Coach, I know, but it's Duke UNC. They're hated rivals.
If it was anybody else, this is Coach K. The guy's been around 4 or 5 decades. He's been around this rivalry forever. I'm pretty sure it's going to be one of the biggest games in his career. But having said that, I do believe what Gil said is true. The ultimate goal every year is a championship. Whoever's in your way at whatever point in time, that's who you got to go through. However, the caveat of this being the first time it's ever been a tournament battle in any part.
And listen, I'm gonna tell you again. If you don't think that Hubert Davis is pissed off about the slight that he got after that game at Cameron, and that Coach K didn't shake his hand, and Coach K gave him the cold shoulder. If you don't think there's a little heated rivalry here, more so than the usual.
Having said that, I do believe that takes into because everything is on the board.
That's what I'm saying.
Everything's on the board.
Like
now, having said
he's got to say what he said.
Yeah, but that's still.
But it's not the
it's a huge game.
Both things are true.
It's exactly
both things are true,
and that's exactly both things are true. But this one does not outweigh winning the championship.
Both have excellent chalkboard talk because they ruined your last game at home. They ruined your last game at home.
They blew them out.
That's the type. And you know what? When they lost to Virginia Tech in the tournament, that wasn't like. No. Them choking. It was, you got a Virginia Tech that was super hot and all that. That game helped Duke get to this point, I believe, the game that they lost against North Carolina. So they both have all the chalkboard material you're going to need. At the end of the day, it's going to be a basketball game, 40 minutes. And if this game is close and gives me any kind of buzzer beater, it will probably go down as probably the greatest game in the history of college basketball. Some have already said that could be the possibility because of everything that's on the line.
And I'm going to tell you what, the first game is going to be another slobber knocker of a game.
Any other year, Kansas-Villanova
is
the main prize.
Outrageous. It is an outrageous game.
This is why
Villanova's down their point, one of their guards. So that's going to be, we'll see how his back, and they are very short on a bench, but he's got some talented kids on that bench.
But Villanova has the next maybe Mike Krzyzewski. They have that guy, right, is amazing. Yeah, I mean, you got Bill Self, who's amazing. Hubert Davis is going to eventually probably make himself a great, legendary coach because he was a great Carolina in the 90s. I mean, we're looking at a March Madness. This is why March Madness is so fun. A year that was one of the craziest upsets.
A tournament.
A
tournament that's been crazy.
Make it to the first time.
To the Elite Eight.
You got, it's all chalk name-wise, but it's still an 8 seed that's in the Final Four. I mean, you have one of the craziest games.
It's a blue blood, but yes,
and
it
you
is
have
an 8
the
seed.
ultimate blue blood.
It's an 8 seed.
And then you have, like I said for the last couple of weeks, a conference that had been maligned the whole year in the ACC. They're not that good, only top heavy with Duke. They did have, unfortunately, Miami, make it to the Elite Eight, which that in its own was disappointing. I mean, amazing that we made it to the Elite Eight for the first time and had a 6-point lead. But when I saw that halftime score, only 35-29, after Kansas had no threes the entire half, I think they had shot 20% from the foul line. We were doing perfection, and we were only up 6. I was so scared we were going to get torn up, but then we were just demolished.
It's too much. It was just too much.
Can we also talk about how our bracket just fell apart? I'm make no secret about it. I'm the least basketball guy here, and how am I the only one with a Final Four team in the Final Four?
Sir, stop screaming because you're not.
What?
This is ridiculous.
You're lying.
What's going on with this?
You're lying, sir.
Oh, UNC. He's not here though. So I'm the only guy in here that
Sir, I had Villanova.
He didn't have UNC in
I
the
had
final,
Villanova.
in our bracket.
Yeah, but you guys didn't want to listen to me.
Either.
You guys didn't want to listen to me that I said that Arizona wouldn't make it because I told you first year coach with that team.
Everybody here was wrong or right at some point.
Oh no, it was disgusting.
Terribly, okay.
It's disgusting.
Because I was
I'm glad to just be alive.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm breathing.
Everybody after that weekend was just demolished, man. All the heavy favorites, everybody lost with the Gonzagas and all that. Trust me, I was close to a big payday, and then Gonzaga just tore it apart.
I don't know what it is about. The Zags. They just can't. Can't do it.
They can't get themselves over the hump.
Can I tell you? It's gonna have to be one of those years where they come in because they won the WCC. They don't have a 28-4 record.
They're at the point where they're still like they don't even have to win the WC. They'll probably be, but it's gonna be like a year they're like a 4 seed.
But what I'm trying to say, that's what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is they're not having a stellar year.
Right.
You get me? They win 18, 22 games. They win the WCC, so they got to come as a 5 seed, 6 seed. When no one is on them, when no one's on them, when everybody's like, those guys always lose.
I know, but it's just they're just like one of those teams that just has terrible luck every year, and it's hard, man. At the end of the day,
it's hard.
This is why there's rarely, if ever, a back-to-back champion.
But that's why we say that's why we complain about college football not having a playoff, because in the playoffs is the ultimate test, challenge and test.
But remember what people will tell you: that the regular season is its own playoffs. I don't like that. Trust me, I'm all about the playoff thing in college football. That's what's always annoyed me. Because remember, that's the SEC life. Oh no, we play in the SEC, so it's a playoff every week for us. I'm like, you know where to go with that.
No, but
and those Gator fans,
and going back to what you
said. Having said that, if you play on the field every year, eventually you're gonna get beat, bro.
Have you guys ever heard of Siena, the College of Siena?
Yes.
Okay.
They're in the MAAC.
They beat St. Peter's.
Yes.
Do you know what the record is of Siena this season?
You know who I thought should have won?
How many games they won this year?
Yeah.
Not many. So
but
again,
I'm saying,
it just shows. I'm saying it just shows
you know who I thought was going to come
playoffs.
out of that specific conference? The Iona,
because
they were coached by Pitino, and they got upset.
He got up.
Yeah,
correct.
But I mean, St. Peter's. Speaking of the coach, moved on to Seton Hall, and I don't know if you saw the press conference, but all his players were there. the former St. Peter's guys, and he gave a minute and a half ovation, standing ovation to his players. I was like, he was like, Pirate Nation, give these guys a hand. Of course, give these guys a hand. They just got your new coach.
But that's what I'm trying to say. That whole SEC that you're talking about, that's what the playoffs are about. It's about a 15 seed, an 8 seed, a 10 seed.
Of course.
They get hot at the right time. They're playing good ball because they're playing good. It's not like they got – no, they're playing good football, basketball, whatever it is. And through the playoffs, they have that shot to win a championship.
That's why I believe when you have a team that goes undefeated through all that in football, it makes it that much more worthy for them.
Correct.
And it's just exciting. Oh, we had a bad luck of having to play this team in the playoffs. Then you're not that good. Great teams win, no matter who they put in front of them. They don't complain. They just get up every day. And
how many wild card teams have won the Super Bowl?
Lately, a lot.
And again, that's part of
it. Used to be back in the day that didn't happen.
Right,
but
it happened
now,
once every 5 years, 6 years.
Once it happened the first time, someone else said I could do it too. And now it becomes a trend. You start believing it's how hot you are at the moment.
Yes, Mr. Morales.
Go Giants. Also St. Peter's, the Peacocks.
So random.
Those are my two thoughts.
Yes, because his Giants won as a wild card.
Twice.
So.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Twice.
But
against who?
Against
who?
One game.
Tom Brady.
One game was against the Patriots with the catch.
No,
the catch.
I will tell you this. In your personal bracket, Coach, kudos.
I don't even want to talk about it, sir. I don't want to hand it on myself.
Don't hand you on anything.
I'm riding the moment there. We'll see what happens.
Even though, unfortunately, I don't think North Carolina is winning that game.
Well, we'll see.
However,
we'll see.
I'm pushing for Villanova to win it all.
Go Tar Heels.
But I'm pushing for Duke all day.
Sir.
I hate North Carolina.
Sir. Sir, we will not have that kind of blasphemy here in this table.
It has nothing to do with you, sir. I pull for you.
I'm a Dean Smith disciple.
No.
I'm a Michael Jordan. I'm a Michael Jordan.
You're only a UNC fan because it's for your bracket.
No, Coach.
You've liked North Carolina your whole life?
Coach James Worthy.
Okay. No, I know you respect all those guys. Trust me, I know you've been around for everybody.
Forever.
I know you were there since Naismith.
Correct,
I know that.
Correct. I was there. I helped them with the
I know you've seen every team.
I helped them with the
I didn't put together that you were like a North Carolina fan. I thought you were just a fan of great players.
No. I've been a North Carolina fan.
And here I am growing up. Friend of a North Carolina fan, either a little brother or a friend. You hate usually what your friends sometimes. So I was a Duke guy because of that.
I mentioned it,
and I like my Dukies in this case.
I mentioned it earlier. My first bracket championship was with North Carolina and the Fab Five when my boy called
with the tech,
the illegal timeout, and I was like, I won, I'm done, I won.
Hubert Davis was on that team.
I won.
Weber with the tech.
The Montrose was on that team.
Yes, that was my first foray into the brackets. So
I officially will put myself on the line with a Duke Villanova final, and I'm gonna pull for you, Coach. I'm going to pull so hard, but I got to go with Mike Krzyzewski to win it all on his last game.
Coach,
send him out and stop.
Coach, can I tell you something? It's funny.
Sir.
Because this is the third year in a row, I think, that I've had a futures. And I always get to the Final Four with my futures.
Yeah.
Good for you.
This time.
So I'm praying that we can finally bring it home. We'll see what happens. It's like 20-1.
But for Villanova?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Good for you.
Good luck, man.
And to be honest with you, I
said.
took Gonzaga. I took Gonzaga in the bracket just because I knew that everybody's gonna have Gonzaga, and I just wanted to have one to cover myself. But the two teams that I really, really believed that could win it were Villanova and Kansas. Those are the two teams that, in my mind, were the teams that could win the championship.
Before the game against the Canes, I thought for sure only Villanova and those two. But after seeing what they did to us in that second half,
Kansas is loaded.
Crazy.
Kansas is loaded.
So that's going to be...
No, it's going to be a great game.
I mean, it's going to be an amazing... If you don't like college basketball, this is your time to chime in and check out
if you don't like
two
basketball,
amazing Amazing games.
College basketball is real basketball. I'm sorry to all the NBA fans out there, but college basketball is a true team sport, and it also has creation because they do open up the floor.
But what I'm saying is what I think the beauty is. That's why to me, like college football is like a minor league to pro football, but college is so different from NBA that I feel it's its own game. But they're both basketball. I enjoy them both. But I understand. You see the purity of the
correct.
You see the purity of the team
of the actual game.
And
it's
once
played
again,
the right way.
Yeah, it's played the right way.
Changes in defense and the defensive changes and all the things that you got to get through.
I get that, but when you see the prime NBA talent play at the best, it's a beautiful thing too. Having said that, I think it's going to be an amazing weekend and an amazing championship.
Let's go ahead and do it as Mr. Morales has to say. Let's go ahead and segue into this whole crying bit now by Kevin Durant. What is his problem now? What is he whining about now?
Okay, hold on.
Can somebody tell me?
All right,
because I'm not in tune with this.
I'm going to jump on my soapbox.
As you say that, he just drills another bucket. He cries all the time. I get that. But the guy's buckets.
He's a baller. I'm
going to get on my soapbox here and give me a second here to pull up the exact quote.
Get out there.
Okay. He, on The Ringer, says, I'm going to be a Hall of Famer when I'm done. One of the greatest to ever play. If you don't want me to be a part of your program when I'm done playing, then that's personal. He goes on to say, OKC has to retire my jersey. The same with Golden State. I put in the time and respect and love for each one of these programs on and off the floor to get that type of recognition. Okay, no one's discounting the fact that you're a great player. You're going to be top 10 when it's all said and done. You're probably one of the most pure scorers in the game has ever seen. But let me tell you something. You cannot say this in public, on the record, after you were up against a 73-win Golden State Warriors, 3-1 in the Western Conference Finals, okay? And excuse my language, and you, Russell Westbrook, and OKC shit it down their legs, okay? And took it 7 games, and then you lose. And then a month later, you turn around, and instead of, as a true athlete, as a true warrior, okay, I'm going to come back, I'm going to work my ass off, okay, and we're going to beat them next year. No, you know what he does? Well, I can't beat him.
You can't beat him, join him.
Yeah, I join him.
And then he leaves.
Just the biggest bandwagon fan. And then claps in LeBron's face like, oh, I'm a stud. Buckets. Sorry, you have 5 all-star players on that team.
Oh, but again, and he left. Okay, but again, he left the Golden State Warriors poopy as well. I don't know what was he poopy about with them?
He's poopy about everything. I don't care about his poopiness though. He's a great player. And here's the thing about the guy had a burner account, remember? For Twitter?
Yes.
We've known his feelings get hurt all the time. Most of these guys hurt all the time.
Oh, the guy
But how did he learn to leave a team? He learned from LeBron. LeBron left the team no matter whether it was good or not.
Yeah.
These guys, it's a different world they live in. They leave and go, and they don't care.
But Grizz,
you think he cares years from now?
Grizz,
he's got 2 titles.
Grizz,
nobody cares.
Right, but LeBron left Cleveland because the Delonte West
Kareem
dropped it on his mom.
Listen, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar left and went to the Lakers. Okay.
Yes.
Moses Malone left and went to the 76ers.
Correct.
Okay. The guys have been leaving teams and going from one team to another for 100 years.
Yes.
But nobody gets poopy. Nobody has to have.
They get poopy for everything.
My gosh! But again,
his teammate is the ultimate poopy guy too, Kyrie Irving.
Okay, but Kevin Durant is the commander-in-chief of the Booty Hurt Brigade. I'm saying.
All right. Buckets.
No, he's a baller.
I mean,
that's fine, but no one's saying that he's not great.
He's a baller.
I know, but I don't think it's this big of a deal.
Okay, but you're in the middle of a playoff run.
Right.
You're with your team, and you're talking.
He cried the other day for Kyrie to come back. He got his way.
Okay, but who is talking? But again, who is he? Why is he sending this out to these other teams? Because nobody kicked him off the team. Nobody said,
I get that.
You're not good enough to be here.
But here's the thing with him. I don't care. Kevin Durant, I don't care what he says about that. To me, He's always crying.
So he just needs drama. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, they all most of these guys do. This is the problem. Listen, this is why you hate the NBA.
I can't
because you can't deal with these grown ass babies.
I can't.
So this is why I understand why you can't deal with the NBA.
I can't.
I don't like that part of the NBA.
I can't handle it.
However,
and growing
I
up,
past it, and I don't care.
And you know what bothers me is because I grew up.
I
on
know.
it. I loved it.
I know.
You know, and I saw these guys, the Detroit Bad Boys.
Listen,
and nobody.
My favorite era is the '90s, where it was defense, and I loved watching Knicks and Bulls grind it out. I loved all that, and I wasn't your friend. And you think one of these guys would jump ship? Never. But this is them now. And it wasn't just Kevin Durant jumping ship.
Look, Rick Mahorn left.
It
the
wasn't
Pistons,
Kevin Durant jumping
went
ship.
somewhere and didn't
Kevin Durant didn't go jump ship just because. He was wanted by Golden State. Draymond Green begged and wanted him. So it's just as much,
Coach.
It's
No, I don't blame him leaving.
Come on, man.
I don't blame him leaving.
My point is, I don't care.
No.
He wants to go and play. That's what they do. They go after rings.
Yes.
They go after this. Great.
I don't.
It's fine.
I do not talk negatively about him leaving. If he wanted to leave, I get it. That's fine. The movement,
it's the softest move in NBA history.
Coach, but the movement the movement in the NBA has been, after Boston created the Big Three, that was the movement. The movement was to collect and play together.
And I'm glad that you said that, because everybody puts it on LeBron, and it wasn't LeBron who started it.
It was Boston.
Wait,
I know.
He's going to be a happier, soft 2-ring champion than Charles Barkley with no rings, Patrick Ewing with no rings. And even though there's mad respect for these guys.
But Charles left. Charles played for three.
Charles left at the end. He tried to get a ring with the Rockets.
He went through three teams, though. He went through Phoenix.
He didn't leave. He got traded to the.
I'm just trying.
What I'm saying is, most of what happened back in the day were trades.
But they didn't. But they didn't come. But again.
No, but they never complained about anything.
I'm just trying to say,
there wasn't an outlet to complain.
You tell me, hey, bro, you guys traded me. I got you. Where you at now? I get it, because there's beef. But you left on your own accord, right? You left on your own accord. You left as a free agent. So why are you moping and pooping? Like, what is your damn problem?
We know of all the major sports, the NBA player is the most
and you know what
annoying.
Scares me? And you know what scares me is that the NFL is trying to follow in that same trend. That's what bothers me. That we're starting to do the same thing as players, as owners, as a commissioner, as the NBA. Because all this player empowerment, and I get it. Yes, they're the ones playing. They need a voice. No, they don't need a voice. They get a salary. They don't need a voice. They get a salary. So that's what creates all this poopiness. And the social media and all the bull.
But once again, this has been his MO.
No, obviously. And he can't man up.
And I can't
get
past it. And the guys, look, at the end of the day, we're going to see right now how he can compete with Kyrie now that he can play at home, and they have to be an 8 seed or 7 seed. And can I tell you what? And that's why I hope that Gianni and the Bucks win the next 10 championships. Yeah. I love that guy. That's the one guy in the NBA. Hey, don't be saying that. He'd have good people too,
Okay, yes, I agree.
I think he win a few championships.
But that's one guy.
We got some solid.
But he's a superstar.
We got some non-poops on our team.
No, you're right. You're right.
Okay,
but he is a superstar.
Can those non-poops act like they want to win the 1 seed? And
I don't know what's going on with the Heat right now. It seems to be a little bit of
a great game yesterday.
They did. They beat the crap out of Boston.
Great game.
They did.
And I don't know if you've seen the Boston the last 2 months were the best team
in the NBA.
Best team, even the Suns.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, 4 teams separated by 2 games.
What I meant by Gianni and Milwaukee.
No, but I get it.
Is because he's in that upper echelon.
He's a solid. He's that model you want. Look, the guy could have left. Milwaukee's not a big market. Nobody.
He's a
goes
humble
to Milwaukee.
Guy. He's a humble guy.
Humble guy. He will leave.
What do you mean he's gonna leave?
But
did he resign?
He did. But what I'm trying to say is
he'll leave when they stop winning.
He's a humble guy. He is not about himself. Anytime that he talks well. There's never any of this emotional, mopey poopy stuff. He might,
He will leave if they treat him wrong.
Right.
Or they're not getting the pieces. He has every right to do whatever he wants.
Yes.
But if they treat him the way they have treated him, they've gotten him talent.
And I'm sure that if he leaves, he'll leave the right way.
Exactly. And if he leads the right way,
he won't
you ain't
talk.
burning that guy's jersey.
He's not going to talk.
No,
he's
but
not
he
going to
already
cry.
has alluded that after this contract is up, he may want to.
Okay, well,
And that's fine.
You know,
case-
like not so much that I don't want to be
there,
here, but
if he's been there for
to
a
explore.
decade, and the way he leaves because he wants to. Hey, you know what?
Again.
Some people, we live in a different world. People don't want to stay 20 years in one
Right.
place.
No.
Hey, I
And-
want to live somewhere else.
And that's fine. Again, more power to him. I just like the way he carries himself.
100%, and I agree
as
with
a
you.
player,
And I cannot
as a person,
disagree.
to me,
all.
and he is an elite player. He is
1000%.
one of the top 3 guys in the
And
NBA.
an elite human
Correct,
as well.
Correct.
So, gentlemen, I think that wraps it up for the day.
There we go.
I want to make sure.
one thing.
Wait.
Baseball update.
Oh,
Spring
why?
season.
Why?
It's in full swing.
Who cares?
Done. Continue, sir.
I would like to mention our sponsor,
General Carnitas
La carne.
.com.
Gourmet Meats. You can visit us at generalcarnitas.com.
Please make sure you peruse our website, go through it, look at it, choose something, get it delivered.
It's delicious.
Same
Great
day.
stuff.
So good.
Great stuff on there.
Premium.
I love these guys' meat.
Let's get ready. I don't know if I like the way that sounded, but let's get ready for UFC 273. That's gonna be next week. We'll talk about it next week. It has 3 great fights on the main card. It has a few other fights
I'm
on
excited.
the prelims. It's gonna be some good stuff,
We'll see if that future comes through.
and we will talk about the NCAA basketball tournament championship. I am not gonna lie. I have been praying for Villanova quite strongly. I've been asking my Lord to please bless them and guide them through this
They
troubled
are
time.
part of the. They are a Catholic school.
Yes,
right? One of
sir.
the
Yes,
the
sir.
reason the Big East came back together, all the Catholic schools.
Yes,
came
sir.
together. So you have that on your side.
I'm hoping
I'm
that the
going
good
with,
Lord-
unfortunately, the Devils.
You know?
The Blue Devils. So you know this guy's gonna cover because I always lose.
I'm hoping that the good Lord. It's not about covering, sir. We need to win.
No,
it's not about a
but I'm
cover.
saying-
It's got to be about a win.
You know what I mean? Cover to me is you win because I lose.
We need to win, but hopefully that would be great. It'd be nice. It would be a nice thing. It'd be really cool. I haven't been able to do that yet. I've had to cover in the second half of every game to be able to cover my my championship.
I'm just gonna be glad to watch it like a normal person as a fan of no money on this game.
Duh.
I just want probably the best game ever.
I'm still
That's all I
crying
want.
over Auburn 3 or
Hey,
4
me
years
too.
ago
That was-
when they lost with
That was,
Virginia.
that was rough. I do remember
With
that
Virginia. That
My
was,
future
that was
this year-
40-1.
My
I was
future
talking
this
to you
year
on the phone.
was Auburn, and the Canes beat them. I'm like, all right.
I had a small one.
Yeah.
I had a small one.
I had Auburn too, but I was happy
that
my Canes won.
40-1 that year was going to be monumental. That was, wow.
I was on the phone with you when
That was
when
crazy.
went down.
That was crazy.
But ladies and gentlemen, share, follow, like, send feedback, all the good stuff. We've been rolling downhill these past few weeks here. It's been more fun than ever, and we're gonna continue to refine and get better. So continue to listen, continue to share, continue to subscribe, and continue to give us some feedback. All right, much love. 2 coaches, 1 Grizz. Out.
Later.